Program committee is a good example of how you follow that procedure.
Yeah, just make it simple without getting overly complicated on it. So that would be, I think that's just a simpler way to get it with exactly
That's
what
fine, we
you.
just want a level playing field.
Yeah,
Set some rules and a level playing field, take some input
There you
and
go.
move on.
I think I heard Peter use a term that he thought there was an interest, he thought there was an interest in accelerating this. I don't see that there was an interest, or that there is an interest in accelerating this. I think there's an interest in having this done with the right process.
So,
Paul?
just to go back on the issues that Ron and Dan were talking about, to me, it seems like this lays it out the way it needs to be. I don't think we want to tie anybody's hands, and yet, to Ron's point, there should be entrance or exit ramps in the process so that before anything's committed to, the board has a chance to provide direction on a conceptual plan or whatever the first milestone is. So, that having been said, I think what we have down here does the job.
Then, I would think that you change the development of the plans to engage an architect to develop conceptual designs
Okay.
that best meet the plans.
That sounds fine.
Because what will be required, as Ron edified here, a building proposal would be on the ballot for 2009, but the balance of, or the architectural fees would have to be on for 2008. So there would be, the building, or the Space Needs Committee will come back with a proposal that, to the board, for encapsulation as a warrant for 2008, which
is
will
the
be
upcoming
next
March.
year.
That's what I was kind of,
So there is a deadline. It's not September, but it would be,
Yeah, but
Yeah, but, no, I don't think we need, though, to expend a large amount of funds to determine what that figure would be for
no,
2000.
no. What I'm saying is, there will be, again, the right way to do this, as we did the high school and every other project, with the exception of North School, is to have the architect, because we did run into some cost considerations at North School, and Ron, correct me if I'm wrong, because of the architectural drawings were a little bit delayed.
And I agree with that. However, we can come up with a number, and we've been using, and I think everyone has been using a 10% number of a
Right.
cost. We've got 180,000 now, saying it's a $4.5 or $5 million project. That number, you virtually have that number now, or real close to getting to where you want with the drawings.
Yeah, but you don't know the cost of the project. You're going to tell me the cost of the project because you're saying it's
What I'm saying-
whatever it is in the CIP.
Yeah, but if I
And
do
I'm
it-
saying I disagree with that.
Okay, so what you're saying is that we have to develop the full plan with the cost of the project in order to come
I'm
up.
saying something better than somebody saying that take down the portables and this is it.
No, what I'm saying is a conceptual design will get you somewhere where you want to go.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
And that's what I'm saying, it's conceptual design, not plans.
Right.
Nate?
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah. Just to clarify for my purpose, I think the intent, because we would be building, oh my goodness, the fiscal year '08 budget this time around, right? Because
Yes, that's right.
fiscal year,
which is the architectural fee.
we're going into fiscal, we'll be building.
July
This is
1,
fiscal year, the year we're heading into is fiscal year '07.
Correct.
Right.
So the budget that we will be building
is
in
08.
starting this September for the board to
08.
take action is fiscal year '08. So the timing of this has to be such that if we want to have a bond for '09, you want to have A&E costs in the warrant
For 08.
for '08,
Calculated
which
on the
is,
warrant.
would be the budget that the board would be voting on in January.
Right.
So, and Ron's point and Dan's point is well taken, what you need is conceptual stuff, but you want to come in with what would be a legitimate A&E number so that the work for finalizing whatever the proposal is could begin late next spring, let's say, so that the board could then put forth a proposal, a nailed-down proposal, if you will, just like we did with the high school, and say, here, this is a model, this is what we're looking at, we estimate cost is X, but in order for us to do it, you've got to get the A&E costs nailed down. So the timing of this has to be so that during budget time, you can come in and say, it appeared, and far enough along to say, the committee would be recommending A&E costs on the warrant for X amount of dollars.
Okay.
So that you could then have a potential bond election for '09, but for '08, you'd want to have a warrant number for A&E costs.
Okay, so let's just change the words in the sentence to this. It said, "The committee will engage an architect to provide conceptual information that best meet."
Conceptual drawing.
Actually, I just said conceptual information. I didn't include a drawing. I don't know that. In other words, I think Ron's concern is if somebody comes back with a drawing of a 4-story building and, a 3-bay gym, that would be an issue.
Oh, I think that's being a little preposterous, because obviously nobody will do that. There has to be some point where somebody, if the board wants to say take down the portables, then why do we need the committee? Let's just do that.
All I'm saying is let's,
What does the board want to do? Let's just take them down. We'll rebuild them as they exist with brick and mortar and be done with it. So I'm confused. We have a committee to analyze this, come back to the board with a proposal. The board still has time to say yes, no. And Paul and I sit as board reps, we'll update the board on, as we meet. I mean, this isn't, nobody's off doing something in a vacuum, trying to hoodwink, to use a lack of a better word, anybody here.
I guess what I'm looking at is when I read this here, it says develop plans. When I develop plans, I've expended a lot
We
of
struck that
dollars.
out.
No, but he's saying that, no. And that's what I'm saying is, that's my concern, is if I develop plans, I've spent a significant amount, and then to change that, it's gonna cost dollars. That's my point. I think there's a step off there to say, here's the conceptual design, and we all on set, yep, and then go into the plans. That's where I am.
What's a conceptual design to you? What's a definition of a conceptual design?
Conceptual design is something that you have, we've come up with that we need this space here, and this is what roughly, I would say you need a drawing, this is what it's gonna look like and it can fit on the property.
I'm okay with that.
That's where I am.
You need a drawing.
Right.
A conceptual,
Right, I'm not gonna spend money to come up with.
oh, I'm not
the
talking
walls.
about
Yes.
wiring and electrical and
But I'm talking about,
conduit.
this is the
Then we're
original,
talking the same thing.
original conceptual design on it, where here's the box, this is what I'm doing on it,
Right.
and these are the changes we're making on the whole
That's,
thing.
I'm okay with that.
And that's where I am, not that I've spent money to
No,
a
no.
10% drawing or a 15%.
But a
drawing.
conceptual design still includes right-of-way issues and access and parking
By
and
the way, you guys forgot that you're going to have to put sprinklers and
Yes.
fire.
code issues.
Right.
But yeah, okay,
That's
I'm
what
okay with you
looking
there.
for, you know, this is
So when you
a-
say no drawings, a conceptual design has to be some scratch.
I agree.
Okay.
I'm with the
I'm
drawings.
saying
the
same-
concept-
you're saying
I'm-
same thing I am.
I'm saying that we don't want a 20% drawing coming to us.
I understand.
That's where I don't want to be.
And I think that was our intent, at least in the prelim. Correct me if I'm wrong, but,
That's right.
okay.
I'm all right.
Okay, me too. I think we all said the same thing. Hey, all right.
Further discussion?
So how does it read now, Steve?
I'm okay with conceptual design.
It reads, "The committee will engage an
I
architect."
think that's what you said, wasn't it, right?
"To provide conceptual design that best meet the needs," et cetera. And the intent of the board is to look at replacing the portables with brick and mortar and other improvements that may be necessary that the committee is to determine.
Yes, did you write that down?
You were writing down. You had the
It's
pen
your
in your hand.
committee, put it down.
Okay. Yep.
Proposed school board meeting calendar?
In your packet is proposed school board meeting calendar for, through March of '07. Also included attached to it, Peter put together for the board the budget review dates, budget hearing dates, et cetera, on deliberative session dates. And at this point, you know, any questions the board has or any adjustments the board would like to make and dates that are proposed.
Steve?
Paul, and then,
Two things. One, Nate, on the second page, proposed budget development schedule, August 8th, school board review of SIP priorities.
Right,
Does that need to be on a date when the school board is convening?
no, it does not. I
This
think,
will be a separate,
yeah, I think, yeah, if memory serves, and the board had wanted to have a meeting to talk about CIP priorities.
this will be more like a workshop?
Yeah, yeah, I think it was the idea that you guys were gonna prioritize, what it was, so, you know, if you'd rather tie it into a meeting, that's okay with us, I mean,
August 8th's gonna be a little bit too late. I would think that in one of our, in June, we should be talking about it, so when Peter and I go to the committee, we're telling them this is what the plan is that the school board is recommending. And that's really where it is, it's the
Right,
August.
but our final is somewhere in August, it's our final for CIP. That's what it was in the last few years. You can move it up if you want.
What I'm saying is, but
No,
we
that's what
should be
he's saying.
giving some
June
direction.
25th.
Yeah.
We should give direction at that, the board should give us direction at that point to say, yes, this is what I'm looking at for all these projects.
so, I mean, it's up to you guys.
And then, you know, we can finalize it once the committee starts putting it together on August 8th, that's fine, but we should have a discussion.
Why don't we do that discussion on Nate, July 25th?
Okay.
Okay.
I meant June 25th.
June
I was
25th?
looking at June, I'm saying July,
Okay.
So June
so that you'll
13th?
be ready. No,
July 25th.
No,
Why is
June,
it?
June 13th.
it'll have to be June 13th, it's the only time it can be,
Okay.
June 13th. I was reading
I
July.
got plenty of paper.
Just so the board has input into it, not that it's just me and Peter.
June 13th.
Yep.
And the second thing, we're planning another joint meeting that will be called and arranged, I guess, by the town council in August.
Right.
Are we thinking in terms of every 4 months or something, Steve? Attempting to have a joint session? Do we have some concept of regularity with this stuff?
We originally tried to run these every quarter. This one, for whatever reason, went almost a full year. So I think you're probably looking between a quarter and 6 months.
Just by the calendar, August to December, no one's gonna wanna meet with us, or we don't wanna meet with anyone.
We're into the budget season.
Budget, so the January, February would probably be a good time right after everyone submitted their budgets. Say February 1 would probably be a good time for the next meeting.
Right. I just want to kind of start calibrating ourselves so that we don't go another year.
Well, let's, why don't we do that at the joint meeting in August to schedule the next meeting, because that's how we arranged this one. It worked out pretty well. And we'll bring up that issue of the budget season and all that.
It's a joint meeting.
Is that all you had, Paul?
Hasn't been announced
Dan and then Ron?
I was just going to recommend that we shoot a copy off to the Budget Committee.
Okay. You email that to
Someone-
Adriana and John Silvestro if you wish, but make sure Adriana gets it.
On that subject, Steve? Dan, at the Budget Committee meeting, did the Budget Committee reiterate a request for end-of-the-year budget information, end-of-this-year budget information?
I believe they were going to present that request. I told them to contact Peter for that information in a PDF format. We provided it last year, and
I just need to know who to send it to this year, John or Adriana?
John
John's the
Savet.
chair, and
A calendar reminder to be requested from you.
Okay.
yeah, Adrian,
The auditors come
Was-
in, we'd like to probably see it before the auditors.
we said rather than submit it now, though,
I know.
wait till the end of the fiscal year, and then, I mean,
Yeah.
why give it to what
Right.
useful purpose is the information now?
What we have now is probably about as close to fiscal year as you're gonna
Oh,
get,
well, then there you go.
except for the unencumbered salaries.
Okay.
Ron, you had something else on the
No.
calendar? You're all
No,
set?
I'm all set on the calendar.
Okay.
Just ask a question on the timing of that. Looking for the information on the first close, or specifically when you say end of the year, just so Peter doesn't have to do things? Okay, but we do first close.
First close, I think, is like July, like 16th. That would probably be the first, that would be the one, unless you tell me differently, that'd be the one that I'd send you.
July 12th, right, and the auditors are.
Like August.
August 7th.
Right.
So,
I mean, first close was probably 95%. Everything after that is like errors or last-minute deposits, but those kind of things, you know
Well, that only comes on the 36th.
what I'm saying?
I just don't, I don't want to.
First close would,
Twice.
right, first close would give you 97, 98% of what,
That's where all the
Right.
big things, and then you just notify us.
Yeah.
If there are any big adjustments.
right.
Okay.
What's going on over
So
there?
we squared away on that then?
The calendar's all set,
Okay.
and he's all set on getting the year end, and we'll get back to the financial report shortly. Assignment of 2 board members to the MIS task force. This is an outgrowth of the meeting that we had at the joint meeting. We've had one individual, George, request a position on that, and this is working with 2 town councilors, 2 budget committee members, Nate and Dave, on whether we would or would not look at combination of MIS and management of all of our information systems in the town and school. Have any other volunteers for that?
If no one wants to do it, I'll do it, but if someone else wants to do it, I'll gladly step aside.
I second that.
Okay, Ron and George are on that. That does or does not necessarily have a relationship to our search team for an MIS person when they're in the budget in December, January, so.
Right.
The list of retirement celebrations
Yes.
and those people that, or those board members interested in participating. If anybody wants to jump in where they see my name, feel free. I just wanted to, because of the way that our meeting schedule was working, I just wanted to make sure that we had a board member attending all of the going away parties and retirement events.
High school one is 8 a.m., not 7 a.m.
I'm okay at 7. No.
Steve, I could do Peggy Ames, but I can't get there till 6:30. Would that be a problem, Nate?
No.
Or Linda?
No.
6:30 is fine. Okay, so why don't you pin me in for Peggy Ames then?
Got it.
Yeah, I think there's a conflict on the 15th.
Yeah, that's
why-
baccalaureate.
The baccalaureate, which I haven't done ever, so. Okay, so Dan's on that. Anyone else?
What time is, well, we don't have a time down for Judy and Mary.
Yeah, we don't have dates or times at this point, so.
I could do them if it's in the evening. I can't do during the day.
Yeah, if you let me know what time they're gonna come up, I can see if I can make it too, if Dan can't make it.
Okay, I just can't do the days.
Yeah, I know.
For Judy and Mary, is that what you
Yeah,
said?
I'll do Judy and Mary if it's in the afternoon or evening.
Well, when we find the answer, we'll,
We'll find
so
out.
that could be Dan or
Yes,
Ron or myself.
yeah.
You don't know when they are, Andy? Or-
We're struggling to get them to commit. They don't want to do anything.
Oh,
Well, let's have a surprise one then. About tomorrow, in about an hour, or 30 minutes.
You know, Mary's at home, and it's very time consuming with Bob, so he's kind of adamant about this, so
we'll have it at her house. We'll go to Mary's house. Yeah.
we might have to. Key lime pie would go very well.
Okay, so you'll let me know.
Paul?
But Andy, I mean, that ultimately, if they don't want one, they won't have one, right? We're not gonna force them.
We have to respect, after years of service, what they want to do.
No, you're gonna.
And we'll do something for
I don't wanna
them.
be happy, I don't wanna be sad.
I mean, let's give them all the opportunity in the world, but some people, they just don't want it.
Andy, you're not old enough to tell her that she has to have
No,
one.
no, I know. I'm not going there.
Okay, the next item is the financial report. For those
Yes,
of you
I'll
that
be
liked
brief.
math in last period.
I'll be quick. In light of the dated information, I gave you an updated cover letter and an expenditure report that kind of reflects where we are today. And I'll briefly go over that. I mean, because it's, the third quarter was a while ago. As I mentioned in both memos, and keep in mind, when we encumber, it makes it easier to do projections, especially going into the fourth quarter. We still believe, going into the end of the year, that our revenues will be about $482,000 above what was estimated or projected when we took the tax rate. The only variable that's still out there will be the amount of money that we get from Medicaid. And then we usually don't get, we get checks from that organization right up to June 30th, and sometimes even into July for the June 30th ending period. Other than that, we've received all our monies from the state, and in fact, we received an email from the state of New Hampshire telling us that our building aid will be prorated to 100%, but we don't get the check until July. And so I don't quite know how the state of New Hampshire wants me to book this. I can book it as a receivable or book it as revenue for next year. Either way, it shows up as revenue when the tax rate is set in December, so in the end, it kind of flushes out to the same. I don't know why they're doing it in July when it's for the fiscal year 06, but that's what they're doing.
Must be the 36th of the month, that's why.
I don't know. I gave you on
The
table
opposite
one.
of the 13-month year.
On table one, I gave you the impact fees and all the other trust balances, and obviously they were as of March. I didn't update them yet. I'll update them at year end when we do a first close. When I give you a first close report, we'll give you what the balances for the various trust funds or outside revenue sources are.
Questions for Peter?
On the revenue side,
I have one. On those two items that you indicated, both the Medicaid and the state funds, we would be accounting for them with appropriate accounting methods, so we wouldn't have any issues in our audit report, correct?
correct.
No more questions on revenue, expense?
Expense side, just to let you know, as I said in my updated memo, for all intents and purposes, the FY06 fiscal year is closed. We have moved, or are in the process of moving the Munis program to now kind of reflect requisitions, purchase orders, if you will, for FY07. The only unencumbered, the only items that will hit the general ledger would be unencumbered salaries. 95% of that's probably expenses due to substitutes, and any emergencies that could happen between now and June 30th, or any items or issues that come up that were not purchase ordered or requisitioned and should be charged FY07, which at this point in time, it should be, I don't want to say none, but very little, if any. So based on that, we are still very confident that somewhere in the order of $50,000 on the expenditure side would be returned to the taxpayers, and that's where we get the $532,000 to be used as revenue from year-end surplus to go towards, the December tax rate.
Questions on the expenditure side?
Private
Questions?
discussion.
I-
How many minutes, Steve, did we devote to $50 million?
$57 million, yeah.
Peter and Susie, I see that the medical is over by 88,000.
Yeah, the reason why medical is over is because We haven't deposited the state reimbursements yet. Retirement. We get deposits from the state retirement system, and
Okay.
they haven't been fully posted yet. That one line should come very close to
Breaking even?
breaking even.
Is that taking into account into the 50,000?
Yes.
Okay. Because that's almost 88,000 by
Right.
itself.
Yep. Yep. We estimate close to $100,000 of state reimbursements to come before June 30th, to be posted before June 30th.
Okay, and the other one is Social Security is 72K. That seems like a lot to be down.
Well, you got to take into account all the unexpended salaries.
What I'm saying is that we're spending more. That's the only other question. We're spending more than.
I'll look at,
That's the only question I have on that.
okay, I mean, obviously, it's through a calculation on the system. So, Social Security.
I think we would expect to see that just the reverse.
That's where I would have expected it. That's my only question on both those accounts.
All right. I mean, obviously, I got to go back and see what,
No, that's fine.
it's a straight calculation.
I think it-
Okay. Further discussion on the financials? Seeing none, I'll take a motion, or
Motion to adjourn non-public session.
Second.
we have a first and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion to adjourn.
There's nothing for non-public, is there?
We just
We already
adjourned.
Nothing. Second that.